Alright, and I would like to welcome you back to Dawn Apart, our colony simulation and factory management game, where we're starting off exactly where we finished yesterday, placing down another miner for copper and another one for coal. Over here we'll throw down our second miner for coal, which again, not the best, but it will, it'll work. It'll mine out all this stuff just like this is. I believe we're going to be able to go down 1 meter just based on the measurement here. It looks like most everywhere actually goes up. Like this goes up over here, and so does all this area. So I don't know whether we're going to get like a meter that we're going to rip out. Oh, there's a nice little pond over here, like an oasis type of thing. I'm sure there's going to be creatures somewhere around that want to kill us. I don't know, though. Again, this is like a desert over here. What's this stuff? Okay, so this is some kind of plant. And we've got our second coal drill up. And our second copper up. So that's all good. Okay, we can build our spaceport now. Like so. I build it one more over? I can. That's more attuned to what I want. And we will level this area out over here too. That's probably going to be a monumental task and take a lot of time. But I think it's going to be worth it in the end, taking this whole area out here, because it's going to allow us a foundry, a whole area for us to build things. So we can open this up. Basically, it's saying check out your trades, which we'll look at in a second here, and what we need to deliver. We are going to need 200 copper ingots for this trade order, which we will end up accepting. And by doing so, we're going to get more solvents. We're going to get our first conveyors. We're going to get an industrial cutter, and we're going to get what appears to be a shotgun. And we're going to get to choose where we accept it. And we are going to accept it at this port here. Then we also have our quota, which is going to ask for 200 lucrum. And it's going to give us a person as well as a chemical lab. The chemical lab is what's going to allow us to make the solvents. So this is something we're going to need as well. We already have the 200 lucrum in storage. I believe it's in this one. So we can go ahead and we can change this to 200. And we click Haul To, and we click the spaceport. And that will get them to pull 200, which will be 2 units of lucrum. They can carry up to a maximum of 100 at a time, as you can see from Shizuko over here. To get that over there, and again that will allow us to basically get our person and the chemical lab, because we need more people. That's going to be the main sort of thing that you're going to notice over time. Is we're going to need to expand our operations, we're going to need more people, we're going to need to expand our operations, we're going to need more people, and we're just going to rinse and repeat that as we get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm also starting to think maybe we have, because we can take these storages and we can dedicate things, like we can click this and say, hey, this slot is only going to be for a certain thing, and we can make all slots applicable for that. So we're probably going to put out dedicated storages for things like copper ore and copper rods and things like that, so that we're able to convey things in and out. Again, at least this is the plan. So once you order a spaceship, or I guess you're not ordering the spaceship, you're saying, hey, I'm ready to take the order, you get a countdown. So in 3 hours and 11 minutes in-game time, there will be a spaceship come down, and that will be for the lucrum. We already have the lucrum in, so it will actually automatically load that in when the time comes. I don't know how much we have here. So that looks like this is a global storage for this grouping of stockpiles because they're all together, which is really, really quite neat. But again, we're going to need about 200 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get 100 of these to be hauled over because we're going to need them anyway. And once it's ready, we will get them put into place. Because pretty soon we're going to be able to get a stone mason's bench, this one here, which only takes granite. So we'll queue that up because I think we're going to end up wanting to make a lot of stuff out of granite. Just because of the fact that granite is obviously, you know, quite a durable material. But I've not found anything as such for it yet, other than, you know, building materials. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. And they're actually going through this a lot quicker than I expected. They've already leveled out this area here. So maybe I'm not crazy in saying the best idea is to just rip this mountain out here. I mean, it is taking time. Do not get me wrong. It's not like this is a quick fix that they just go over and bam, 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 it's done. But they can move pretty quick. Like he's slowly taking it out by voxel as it comes down. But it's probably only taking him a couple hours, and it's getting a mining skill. Or her, I should say. This is Kasumi. I'll also put another disclaimer out there. I believe these are Japanese names, and I do not know Japanese, so I apologize. I'm probably absolutely butchering it. And it looks like they're level 8 already. So you can start to hear sounds, which is going to be the spaceship, which is now entered. And it'll come flying over pretty soon. It's a pretty cool little animation that they end up having when they come across, which we should be able to expect pretty much any second here now. So I don't know. No, I'll have to knock that off and then put the stone masonry behind it. So this here is the KSS Beetle. They're going to pick up our smaller quotas of lucrum. And here is Hane, which is kind of our reward here. I'm going to go ahead and get them to put the chem bench up here on this floor. And that was kind of my idea, is I'll put some of the simple hand-done manufacturing up here. That way it's out of the way. I could move all this other stuff up, but I don't mind them at those two places right there. And then over here, what does it take again to make this? So yeah, they take all kinds of resources and it works its way up. So you got to make red solvent to make green, and you got to make green to make purple or blue. Sorry. So, but that takes stuff that we don't have yet, so I'm not going to get too worried about that. What I am going to do is I am going to slap this down probably right here and get them to start mining that out. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to call in the copper ingots because we can get those loaded as soon as possible, and that'll give us the ability to mine more lucrum with the red solvent, as well as get us our first conveyors. Because I do not believe we can actually make conveyors yet. We might be able to. We can, but it takes steel plates and copper ingots. And I don't know if we can make steel plates. We can make steel ingots, but I think steel plates needs the punch press, is it? No. This here, the industrial cutter, which do we not just collect that? Or do we get that off of this one? Yeah, so the industrial cutter we get off of this one. So we'll go ahead and we will get them to haul... Oops. I don't want them to haul all of it. I only want them to haul 100. And haul it to here. And the stone masonry is up, which is perfect. go ahead and get that put up, like I said before, up here. And we're already mining out some granite for that. Now you can see this copper's been mined out pretty deep, and it'll keep going as it goes and ripping this out. Same with this, until we get all the way down to, again, I believe 1 meter. This stuff was to take blocks, and to make blocks, all we need is granite. We can also get it made in a punch press, which is absolutely great, but for now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to queue up, say, I don't know if they make one at a time. They might. So we'll go ahead and make 20. That sadly is actually only 4. Enough for 4 floors. So I guess we'll up it another 20. And it'll give us 8. I think I did the math right on that, I'm not sure. And then we can go ahead and... Ooh, I don't want that, I want that. So that'll go ahead and get us that, hopefully. Make our life a lot easier. We've called in the copper, it's sitting here. As soon as they get in, they will be able to load it. And we will get our first conveyors. So as you can see, we're starting to run behind. There's just copper sitting here. There's just copper sitting here. They're constantly trying to bring things up. There's people trying to level this. There's a ton of coal over here, over 50 coal. There's some wood just sitting in there, although it might be under that lucre miner and they might not be able to get it. And then over here we got some granite. So again, this is the problem we're going to have at the beginning, in the fact that we need to keep up with these things. We need more people. Right, and we're limited to our 5 people right now. As time goes on, we will start to automate the things, which will make it a lot better. I don't think we're actually going to get any loaders or anything off of this. No, we're not. But I believe... Now, can we build a storage unit? I don't know what we need for that. We need steel plates. Okay. Again, we can direct these into the furnace directly, and then they'll just have to load in. Well, we'll figure it as we go. Again, we're gonna get this this trade request will give us 2 more people. I would really like that. And then we'll probably start to slow things down, assuming we can make it. So we're gonna need the solvent that we're gonna get from this. We only currently have, why is this not with this? They should be mixed together to make, you know, I think they go, yeah, like it says, 250 or so. Alright, that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and get the red solvent and the industrial cutter. And this shotgun over here. We're going to haul, I guess, to the storage. And same with each of these. So they're coming over to do it anyway on their own. They're pretty smart, all things considered. Looks like they're just about done over here. I don't think that 29 includes what I've set up. They will not skip recipes as far as I can tell, so if you mess up your numbers, you're just going to end up not getting all of the things that you've tried to queue up. Sort of an important little bit to note. So I think I'm going to get them to uninstall that, and then I will rebuild it, at least for now, over here. Oh, I must have gotten storage units from that. I didn't pay attention, clearly. I don't have any feeders, right? No, I don't have any feeders or anything like that. So with this, where this kind of like poops it out this way, we can go ahead and do something like this. And then from here, we can do something like this. Which can go to there. And if we do that, I believe it should directly load the copper into it, from what my testing saw before. And then they'll only have to haul over the wood. The copper will actually come on its own from here, which is great. We also have some lights now, so we can place those if we wish. There's different kinds. How big is this basic lantern? It's not that big. I don't think they help with anything. Just to be clear, like I don't think they actually give us any advantage or anything like that. Are you mining again? You are not. Where we need to get this red solvent hauled. And we're actually, if we can, we're just going to get them to haul it into there. And yes, that gives a priority to it as well. So when this melts, we'll watch it. And it actually does not load into there. Okay. So we are going to need the feeder to get that to automatically load in. We're going to want this industrial cutter as well, because that's going to help us with the next thing that we're going to need, which is going to be, I believe it was for steel. Yeah. Right, steel and copper plates, which is the next thing we're going to want. That'll get us more solvent. That'll get us the punch press. And both of those things will help us moving forward with what we need. Lucrum should be starting to get pooped out again, which it is. And we are now, we're pretty close to being able to haul the 400 required. Which I think we're going to... Oops. So we're back here now. I'm not entirely sure what made the game crash there, but it did. So now I gotta figure out what I'm doing. So the last time we had an autosave was over here. Okay, so we're gonna get you. I'm going to build this storage back over here. And I'm going to rip out all of these. So that's something that we're going to have to keep in mind. Is what's actually made that crash? I'm not sure at this point. We're also going to have to keep an eye on our things here. It looks like, because when we pull things off of a conveyor like this, it looks like they just fall on the ground. So we're doing a pretty good job of mining all this stuff out. This is still working. How much lucrum do we have over here? So we actually have... No, I've not hauled these over yet. So we don't quite have enough, but we're getting there. I am going to chop this to 150. Is that going in there? I don't know where this lucrum is getting added up to. So I think for the sake of argument, we'll do what we did before, and we will haul 100 from this pile and 100 from this pile. That seemed to work very well to get us 200 in there. And that'll get us halfway to our quota. You'll notice that they flatten the ground as they go. Oh, I missed this little bit here. When they're building the conveyors, very useful. And we will queue up another furnace as well. which will take 20 of the materials. That's a shotgun. This is products. So we need 12 here, like I said before. So we'll queue up 12 of those. We'll keep this going. I don't see any reason to stop it right now. I'm not sure if it was the floors. I hope it's not. I hope there's not like an issue with the granite floors, but we'll place those there to get that moving. And this is now output blocked, so I need them to haul this. Let's haul it here. We should be able to more or less bring it there. I don't know if they can throw 100 in, 20, or what it is. But we're going to see, because they tend to throw like 10s in. Yeah, so it looks like they can put well over 100 in, which is good. So once that's done, we're going to go ahead and get them to put the furnace down, which will be this one. And put it like this for now. Or perhaps, actually, we should put it over here, because this is where we're going to start our production. So if we do this, then we can have inputs on the left and outputs on the right. Each conveyor, as you saw, has a left side and a right side, so they carry multiple things, making our life a lot easier for that, obviously. Now this trade we might also be able to do once we get the steel ingots. That'll give us more solvent and stuff. So this is definitely something that we're going to want. We're actually already like half the way to the end of the copper plates, which is great. This furnace will get put in, and that will allow us into the next thing, which is going to be starting production on this iron over here. So I think we should be good with just one. Keep right-clicking, trying to get the menu to go down, which just brings up the orders tab, and then, you know, that's obviously not what I want. I guess it's kind of old habits die hard type of situation. So this is already in. So we're going to go ahead and go steel. And we're going to be pretty close. No, we are actually ready to go with the iron miner. So this is going to go... I don't want to block that path, because I feel like that's where we're going to end up going for the conveyor, like we previously set up, because it can get on, and then we just needed to load in. We can also set this up for this to go in front of it, and we'll just kind of like poop it in, which is great in a way. But I also want to have copper ingots, because I'm sure we're going to want those as well. Again, we probably want to grab like a pile of these, like 100 of these, and haul this into here, so we're not like constantly having someone run back and forth just to put stuff in there. This needs steel gears, which I don't know how to make. I assume it's in the punch press. So I think, how much lucrum do we have? Because I would love to have another couple people. We're almost there. We're almost up to 200 now. So once we hit 200, that will, and we're now officially pooping out our steel ingots. Almost called them iron ingots. Steel ingots, which is good. This is an advanced mechanical workbench. Can't use that yet, obviously. Don't need sandbags. Okay, so this is like an automatic one, which we're going to want. This is the punch press. Also something we're probably going to want, but we can't get it yet. We need a punch press, I believe, to make a punch press. No, because we can actually make all those things right away, but we can do it over there. And then an assembler, which will make buildings, basically. We can make some feeders. So that, I think, is good. That, I think we're going to do, and we're going to make one of those. No. Two of those. We're going to put one of those storages. We're going to take a storage out of storage. Put it there. And I said 2 feeders, right? Yeah, 2 feeders. So that should allow us now to actually use these first conveyors. Now these are just going to be basically temporary homes. It's definitely not a permanent home at this point for this. So if I've done that correctly, it will automatically load the storage, which will give us a bit of a buffer. I guess 800, and then that'll put it over here for this to work. So hopefully I've done that right. I do not know if I have. We're soon going to find out. I'm learning alongside you with all of these things. And what was it to build conveyors? Because we can build those here too, right? So we need steel plates, which we can change over here when we're ready. Yes, we can. And then what did we have that made... No, those are miners. What did we have that made... This? No. Granite blocks. It was easier to find in here, I remember. Or actually, even better, I can do this and hover over it. It'll tell me what makes it. So it's a punch press. If we go to punch press, that just needs more granite blocks. So that's easy enough as well. So we'll get a punch press. And we'll get sort of the same thing if that works. 3 feeders. And what did we need for this? It was 10 blocks? Punch press was 10 granite blocks, and we currently have none. So go ahead and we'll queue that up. So we'll end up putting that over here so that this directly feeds into it. It's going to get us blocks, and that goes from there. That way we don't have to worry about making blocks. We also probably have that 200 lucrum we were talking about before in storage, which we do. We're going to go ahead and take 200, and we're going to haul it to here. And we're going to call in this 400 because that will give us the 400, and more importantly, it will give us 2 new colonists. And again, like I said, we've actually waited an entire day, and it's probably going to take another day for all of this to finish out here. Which is fine. We're looking at slowing things down. We can also go ahead and deal with the plates, because we have more than 100. So we can haul 100 here. They're almost done ripping this apart. It's taken a long time. They're almost done ripping it apart. And we can do the same with the iron ingots. We can haul the 100 iron ingots. Or steel ingots, sorry. I will probably never get that right. Into the spaceport. That way we can complete this trade shortly after as well. So yes, this is in fact working. It's loading them in. Do I have this on the wrong side or something? What happens if I say no people? Because I don't want them to be loading. I mean, they're going to need to load the wood, unfortunately. But I do want this feeder. It looks like it has a power reading down here, which is strange because I don't see any power anywhere. But I want this to load into here. I don't know if it'll just like do 2 and that'll be it, or what's going to happen here. So this is loading, okay. But it looks like it'll only load up to the next load above. Okay. And I don't think they will fuel it. I mean, again, the other thing that we can do, which I kind of want to, because I don't want them using wood for this, is we can put a storage here, which is then going to feed out into this direction. And you're going to be all resources, and we're only going to put in coal. Because I want it to be doing coal. And over here, we're going to haul all of this. We're going to haul to this one. Haul to this one. Haul to this one. So they'll go ahead and do that. That'll go over there, and then hopefully this will start eating this up. It does not appear to be taking the fuel. Well, in any case, I think this is a good enough place as any to stop. We've got a good bit here. I will be making more episodes, of course. This probably, just based on time, is going to get split into 2 episodes anyway. And we'll try and figure out our feeder problem into how to get it to work the way that we want, in that it's going to take off of the right belt and not just the closest belt. But I do thank you very much if you've watched this far. Again, I would like to thank Industrial Technology and Wishcraft for giving me the key. I hope you've liked it. If you have, think about throwing me a subscribe and give a like, a comment. It helps with the algorithm gods. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with this game. It kind of snuck up on me. I've not heard that much about it until just a few days ago, but I am fully taken in by this game. And I think it's going to have a number of interesting challenges and things to grow. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye for now.